my name's Heather, and you've reached my channel, Small Town World. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what we are doing for kindergarten prep. So we've got about 2 to 3 months before we officially start kindergarten. We just finished preschool 2 weeks ago. We took all of last week off and just had a lot of fun playing. And we're just going to be doing some light schoolwork to keep us in the I guess, schedule or structure, so that way we are A, keeping busy, because in our household we really need to keep busy, and B, we're keeping the learning juices flowing so that we're not forgetting everything we learned already. And yeah, so that way we're ready for kindergarten. So I'm going to go over what we're doing. We actually just started this morning. Gwen woke up early. She's on her second to last week of her little learn and play program at our community center, and I'm very excited to not have to wake her up and be stuck to the structure and schedule all the time. But I'm gonna miss the free time. So anyway, today we're gonna be going over what we're doing for kindergarten prep, and then either later this week or next week I'm also gonna make a video about everything I'm doing for kindergarten, and that will be a longer, more involved video because we've got a lot going on for kindergarten this year. Okay, so first thing, we'll start with what we did this morning. So for just a warm-up, I did get these little workbooks from Dollar Tree, and we're just starting this one out. We're going to start working on a little bit more handwriting. We really didn't do any for preschool because I started in the beginning of the year, she just really wasn't up to it. So the first thing we did today, we did this Trace and Write workbook for ages 4 through 6. This is definitely easy for her, but as I explained to her, it's just to warm up your hand and have fun. So today she just traced the lines and she colored in some apples, and that was just like her starter, something easy. I'm really trying to do things that are easy for her to build her confidence and also to kind of just start getting her in the routine of things. So we're going to be doing some handwriting work for kindergarten, so we're just getting used to our pencil grip more so than we did in preschool and everything else. So tomorrow we'll just do these 2 pages, and she just traces the lines, and it's easy peasy, and as she goes on it'll eventually turn into things like curves and shapes, and by the end of the book it'll have her practice writing her letters. So she did that this morning. She did great on that. Afterwards she did this workbook page. She really enjoyed Blue's Clues over this school year and last summer, so we got her the alphabet Blue's Clues workbook pages, which she didn't end up doing for preschool, but she did it this morning. She worked on her B's and C's, so we have a Blue's Clues one, and I think we also have a Paw Patrol one, so I'm going to give her one to do each morning. So this morning she did B and C Blue's Clues. Tomorrow she'll do B and C Paw Patrol. And then I have 2 math workbooks, and I decided to start with this one, which is easier. Actually, let me pick the cover out to show you. I did just rip the page out of the book. This is the one that I have also that we're not doing right now, but we might do that next, or I might work it in. I just didn't want to overload too much, because I wanted to keep it simple and easy and confidence building. So this is the one that I'm using right now with her from it's a Sesame Street Numbers with the Count workbook, and like I said, this was very easy for her. She's definitely passed this, but I just wanted it to be confidence building and keeping us in the routine of doing multiple things per day. So she just had to count the bats, which have 1, 2, 3 on them, and color them in, and then she had to circle groups of 2. And that was her easy starters for the morning, and that was all of her workbook pages that she did this morning, and that's all she'll do every day. Like I said, I also have this PreK Math by Scholastic's activity book, which we might work in as well. I just wanted to see how today went. One other thing that we are doing, we're going to be doing some reading from What Your Kindergartner Needs to Know. We did What Your Preschooler Needs to Know. This book is definitely more bulky. The last one I got from the library, this one I actually just bought off of, I think, either thriftbooks or Books for very cheap. And it has all these different sections: language arts, history and geography, art, music, math activities, and science activities. So it is a bit bulkier than preschool. Preschool, I don't believe, had a math section. And also the language arts section is broken into poems, fables, stories, and I think that's it. And it's more along the lines of your traditional stories. Oh, there's a section on sayings, which I think is getting almost into grammar, I would say. but there's only a page or two of that. So this morning we did 2 pages of the poems. I just read them to her while she was doing her workbook pages and working on her tracing and coloring. And we did one of the fables. Today we read The Dog and His Shadow, and we read this little introduction to like what a fable is, which we really enjoyed. And we also are going to do the first couple pages of history and geography. So this morning we read about planet Earth, and then when she comes back from school, because she's like, I'm tired now, I want to take a break, and I was like, okay, great, let's go do our morning chores. So this afternoon we're going to read Oceans, Continents, Maps, and Globes, which is just another little tiny section to here, and then we're going to do Earth's 7 continents. So that'll be our social studies, and my idea is to read a little bit out of this book each day, and that's all we'll read for today. So then tomorrow we'll probably do a little bit of language arts each day. But tomorrow we won't do social studies. We will probably move on and do, I forget what I had written down. Let's check. This is my planner that I'm still using from last year. I really enjoy it. I will say this planner is too big for me. There's all these pages that I'm not using that I would aspire to use, but just down in the dirty of life with an infant and a 4-year-old, it's just not happening right now. So maybe someday I'll be better about it. The pages that I do use kind of religiously are, I try to use the weekly schedule. I also sliced mine out of the original spine because it was too hard for me to write on. So I tried to do this in color coordinated as best I can. I don't think this one's this week's, but I do the daily schedule, and then I do, here I'll show you, my weekly planning page. This was really messy. So this was what it looked like towards the end of preschool when we were doing quite a bit, which it looks like more than it actually is because this also has our outings on it. So doctor's appointments, it has scheduled anything that I need to do personally, anything anyone want to do like for Lily. Yeah, so I had it broken into, I like to do the columns for the days of the week. So I have the 5 days of the weekdays in each column, and then I have one column for the weekend. And then in my sections, I do in the first section outings and appointments. We have our morning meeting, which is all of our different readings and little workbooks that we like to do. And then I had a box for math and SEL, which we did for preschool. And then we had a box for the good and the beautiful, and then any enrichment activities that we wanted to do as well. So like arts and crafts, or if we wanted to go play outside and do something, or play a specific board game to kind of reinforce something we were learning, I'd write that down there. And then I had a section for Lily, for mom, and for my small business. But anyway, let's move on to this week's. So what I planned for this week for kindergarten prep, my plan is to do work 4 days a week. I leave Fridays free, but if we don't get our stuff done the rest of the week, we can always add it in on Friday. Or for example, I know we have a doctor's appointment this afternoon. So if we don't finish, if we ended up not having enough time to finish our work today, I would have just bumped our schoolwork to Friday and had today be our off day. But since Glenn woke up early, we got a lot of it done before school. I don't think we'll have a problem finishing today. So tomorrow we will do poetries, we'll read 2 more fables, and we'll do art. On Wednesday, we'll do poetry, we'll read the last section of fables, and we'll do a science section. And Thursday, we're going to do poetry. Fables will be done, so we'll read our first story, which is The 3 Little Pigs, which she's read before, she knows before, so she'll just enjoy listening to it again. And we're going to try out 2 of the math activities, which I haven't done in here before. So yeah, just a little bit going on. Thursday she does not have Learn and Play, so we'll have our whole day of things to do. So I'm also going to add in signing time. I'm just going to rewatch the same DVDs that we did from the library this year, just to kind of reinforce and remind, because this one, signing time, my first signs, we watched back in September. So it's been a while, so I thought a refresher would be good. And I don't want to move on to any new learning there. We're just practicing and getting ready for kindergarten, but I wanted to keep it fresh in our mind. So yeah. What else do I have? I showed this in my last video. This is the level 3 of the reading house. I was looking at it. I think I'm going to try and read through these books with her in kindergarten prep, but I'm not sure yet. So I don't have it on our schedule for this week. I was just looking at it a little bit, and I want to see how we progress in this kindergarten prep book first. Which brings me to kindergarten prep. So this is, I guess, our main curriculum for our kindergarten prep. And it only has 30 lessons. It's from The Good and the Beautiful. and it's the step between the preschool curriculum and the kindergarten curriculum. So in preschool, you learn all the letters and you learn their sounds. And then in kindergarten prep, you start to learn how to blend the letter sounds. So you can see the lessons are very nicely done. This is our first lesson for today. It does seem to be a bit more full than the preschool lessons were, but I think not as much as the actual kindergarten. So I think it's really important that you do the kindergarten prep program in between. So lesson 1 today, we will be learning about what vowels are. So she already knows the main sound for A, E, I, O, and U, but today she's going to learn actually what a vowel is. We've never used that word before. And then she's going to be just doing some different practice. She's going to do some things with buttons. So I need to find buttons before we do this today. We'll probably just use our gems that we always use. And that's it. It's just the 2 pages and that's the lesson. And we'll do one of these a day for 4 days a week is my plan. We do go on vacation for 2 weeks at the end of June. And then when we come back, we have both the girls' birthdays followed by their birthday party. Later that week is 4th of July and the next week is my birthday. So it's a very busy time of year for us in June and July. And then the second week of July, Gwen is doing her first ever week of summer camp, which she's gonna have a lot of fun with, I think. And she's going on like a nature all about animals program at our local nature reserve. So she will love it, but I'm kind of trying to decide what to do. My original plan was to start kindergarten in the middle of July and do like beach trips over the summer to reinforce our science lessons, which I'll tell you more about later. But because I want to get the kindergarten prep in and I don't want to be rushing it, I'm not sure. I might hold off until the first week of August to officially start kindergarten. It really doesn't make a difference. We could also say we officially started curriculum kindergarten and still be doing this workbook. That's okay. I'm deciding in my head. I'm going to kind of see how it goes. And curriculum wise, I think that's everything. One other things that I did get, I wanted to show you. I found these little guys at Dollar Tree, and they're just some kind of little behavioral charts that we're going to be using. So we started one of these already. This is a candy chart. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of candy. So we could do one for each school day of the week. And anything that we're working on behavioral wise, that's what we're going to use these for. So for Gwen, she really argues whenever she gets an instruction. She enjoys the argument aspect of it, and it can become very tiresome by the end of the day. By the end of the day, everybody's done with it. So one thing that we're doing is we've got these 5 candies, and we learned this from her therapist, and instead of saying, anytime you do this good thing, you earn a candy, because it's harder for her to do something, it's kind of backwards. It's any time that you choose not to. So if I say, go get your shoes on, and instead of arguing with me for 20 minutes about getting her shoes on, if she just goes and does it, hey, you didn't argue with me, you earn a candy. And if she earns 5 candies before the second half of the day, then we will go out and do a fun outing, like going to the playground or the library or things that we typically schedule in our day, but if we're having a rough behavior day, we just can't do. And if we don't do it, okay, we'll play outside instead, or okay, we'll read books at home instead. We're still gonna do things, but it kind of sets up the reward and the expectation of we have to get through steps A, B, C, and D. And if you are arguing every step of the way, then something that should take 2 minutes is going to take 20 minutes, and we're not going to be able to do it. It was hard to wrap my head around, like, how do I reward for her not doing something? But I like this little chart idea. I got them from Dollar Tree. You can use them for literally anything. So I would go grab them if you're looking for some sort of behavior chart for your child too. And the last thing that I really wanted to show you is this bin right here. I have quite a few of these at this point. They're from Michael's, I think, the craft store. I buy them when they're on sale because they're very expensive when they're not on sale, but they're very cheap when they are. And let me show you. So this is the lid. It comes off. It has a nice little caddy in it that we can put our manipulatives, our pencils, and everything in. And it has this big bin on the bottom. And this is what I call our traveling homeschool. So I can put literally all of our curriculum and everything we need for it in the bin. I'm not going to put signing time or reading house in there today because I don't need to bring them anywhere we go. I'm going to put our worksheets and our folders. Oh, this folder right here just has the alphabet worksheets I told you about. I had ripped them all out of the book itself earlier in the year because I put them in clear sheets and decided I didn't like to use it that way. So that's all of our worksheets. This is my planner. This is our What Your Kindergartner Needs to Know, and that's honestly, maybe it's still closed. That goes in there. This goes in. You can see everything fits in this bin, and we can take it anywhere we need to go. So we don't need to do school at home. We can do school anywhere. In here I have this little bag full of pom-poms, which are great manipulatives to use. Like I said before, I'm supposed to use buttons for a lesson today, but I can use pom-poms in a pinch. I've got some number flashcards because I'm still learning to read her numbers. She can count perfectly fine. She just doesn't always remember what 6, 7, 8, or 9 look like. I've got a pencil case with some pencils and a pen in there for me. I've got a pencil sharpener. I've got some paper clips. I've got a set of cards, which we like to use. Also great for learning numbers when we play math games like Go Fish or War or anything like that. Got some little timers. I've got a 1 minute, a 3 minute, and a 5 minute timer. I'm gonna stick in there. Got a whopping new box of crayons and a glue stick. And I'm just gonna throw, this is my own personal pencil case. It has my colored pencils, my highlighters, my dry erase marker, my whiteout. I'm gonna throw that in there too. And I can actually, my timer that I use all the time, I might actually put that in there as well. I'll just do that for right now. Actually, I might rearrange this a little bit. Hold on. The little timers like to fall out of the middle section. If I'm making a timer cubby, I'll put them all right in here. I'll put my pencil sharpener in with my cards. And there you go. That's kindergarten prep. And then one other thing I wanted to show you, I haven't read yet, but this is what I'm reading this week. This is not for my older daughter, this is for my younger daughter who's only an infant, but it's Montessori at Home, a practical guide for parents for ages birth to age 3. So she's almost 1, and Montessori is one of those words that I always hear. I know a little bit about it, but I don't really know much about it. So I thought it would be good reading for the week. Have you read it before? Did you like it? Do you do Montessori? Please let me know in the comments. If you are new here and you want to hear more about my homeschool journey or whatever random thought passes through my mind for the week, please feel free to follow and subscribe and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.